Assalamu alaikum. The topic of my research poster is Project MUST, which is about macroscopic urine and stool test. Although in 2020 the worldwide pandemic made the medical researchers to accelerate their pens to write about infectious diseases. But the drawback of this obsession to do research about infectious diseases is that it shadowed the real problems of medical system and the pattern of diseases in 21st century. For example, according to University of Oxford, the pattern of disease burden in 21st century has significantly shifted towards chronic diseases, especially the chronic kidney disease. For instance, in 1998, the prevalence of chronic kidney disease in Pakistan was just 3%, but rose to 17% in 2017 and could be 25% till 2025. As per a report of a Dawn newspaper in 2017, 25 million Pakistanis were suffering from chronic kidney disease. But the actual figure can be more than that because according to a global report, 9 out of 10 people with chronic kidney disease are completely unaware of their condition. To justify this bold statement, I want to share with you a survey conducted by Aga Khan University Hospital in 2015, in which they checked the serum creatinine level of 301 subjects from age 30 to 80 and found that 25.60% were suffering from chronic kidney disease and were completely unaware of their condition. Now the question is, what type of a disease it is? Although there is a famous expression in medicine that inflammation is appear connected to almost every known chronic disease, but it proved in 1990 that inflammation is an important component of CKD. However, in CKD, the state of inflammation is quite different from other diseases because we can't detect 4 cardinal signs of inflammation such as redness, hotness, swelling, and pain in the patient of CKD at early stages. And that's why the disease remained silent for a long time. But there is also a legendary 5th sign of inflammation added by Galen, and that is functionalessa, mean loss of functions. And a book entitled as Clinical Practice Guidelines for Chronic Kidney Disease published by National Kidney Foundation stated that the outcome of chronic kidney disease is loss of kidney functions. Now here comes the objective of our study. If we hypothesize that the main function of kidney is to produce urine, so this functional essay suggests that some characteristics of urine will alter due to the inflammation in the kidney. That's what exactly the Albert Einstein College of Medicine stated, that inflammation directly correlates with the glomerular filtration rate. So it means the disease isn't as silent as it is portrayed. And that's what precisely written in the traditional medical texts such as Avicenna's Canon of Medicine, in which we found that Avicenna did a profound classification of kidney diseases in 12 types. And he did not accept the kidney diseases as the silent killer because he denoted every disease with a sign from urine. For instance, red urine in hararatul kulya, transparent urine in barudatul kulya, less quantity of urine in soluble kulya, and blood in urine with pain in korohul kulya. And if we compare the symptom of hazalul kulya with chronic kidney disease, we found that according to Avicenna, in hazalul kulya there is more foam appears on the urine, and the color of urine will cloudy and later it will become red. Today, modern lab analysis explained us that because more than 80% reabsorption of phosphorus occur at the proximal tubules of the kidney. But in CKD, the reabsorptions failed as a result of functionalessa. And that's why the urine becomes cloudy due to phosphaturia. Also, a research paper published by Pakistan Society of Nephrology stated that differences in urination, the passage of bloody, cloudy, tea-colored urine, protein in urine, excessive foaming of urine, frequent passing of urine at night, passing less or difficulty passing urine are the signs of chronic kidney disease. So the objective of this study was to develop a standard diagnostic tool to detect kidney diseases at their early stage from the changings in the urine. Now let's discuss the material and methods. To develop the urine chart based on the wisdom of Avicenna, first we need to study the history of this art and previous urine color charts that have been made for this purpose. The history of urine analysis is far dated back to the ancient time, and historians reported that it is the most primitive diagnostic tool in the medicine, even older than the pulse analysis. And to practice this art, the standard urine color chart had been made throughout the history. For example, ancient Babylonian and Sumerian physicians were first who inscribed their evaluation of urine into the clay tablets as early as 4000 BC. They were aware of certain urine colors such as Sinatu Pizu, white urine, Sinatu Zalmi, black urine, Sinatu Bursi as red urine. After that, in 10th century, Basing himself on Galen's humorism, Abu Yaqub Ishaq wrote Kitab al-Baul, a foundational treatise on the urine analysis, and developed world's first portable flow chart of the urine assessment. It was so complex that he claimed it could determine numerous diseases known if one knows how to use it. Then in 13th century, Gilles de Corbel, who was one of the world's first professors of medicine who taught at the medical school of Salerno, developed hand-colored urine chart that classifies urine samples to aid physicians in diagnosis. In 14th century, Byzantine uroscopist Actuaris wrote his masterpiece De Urinis on urine in 7 books and developed urine color chart based on 4 humors theory. During the early 15th century, uroscopy entered the household through the best-selling book Fasciculus Medicinae by Johannes de Catum from Germany. In 16th century, a urine color chart published by the Ulrich Binder in his book Epiphania Medicorum. It has 20 different colors with the strange array of shades. Then at the beginning of 21st century, the Dutch Center of Preventive and Personalized Medicine along with the National Metabolomic Center develops a urine color chart based on the traditional Chinese medicine. They said, urine is not waste but a biofluid rich in information, provide valuable insight into the metabolic state of an organism. And then just few years ago, world's #1 hospital in cardiology and urology from last 23 consecutive years became so much obsessed with the urine color charts that they had designed their urine color chart on a tissue paper roll. They stated that the color, density and smell of urine can reveal much about the state of our health. Now the question is why we need a new urine color chart, because we have so many charts of the past developed by ancient healers and many by the modern research institutes. The answer is very simple but quite astonishing, because no doubt if we study history we found numerous masterpieces of literature written on this topic. For example, De Urinis written by Theophilus, Kitab al-Hawi by Zakaria Razi, Mukhtar al-Filtib by al-Baghdadi, a treatise on urine in 7 books by Johannes Actuaris, Fasciculus Medicinae by Johannes de Catum, Epiphania Medicorum by Ulrich Binder, or even the modern textbooks of urology such as Smith Urology and Campbell-Walsh Urology. But when we compare these books with Avicenna's Canon of Medicine, we found that Avicenna's approach towards urine analysis is not just very wide-ranging but also very elaborative. I can say this with complete honesty that when I explored the history of this art, I realized that the Avicenna is the only physician in the history who not just described the 30 colors of urine but also explained the other 6 parameters of urine analysis and did an extensive classification of urinary sediments and their macroscopic appearances. The second point is, if we closely analyze the urine color chart that had been made so far, we found that not just the technical aberrations but the conceptual fallacies are present throughout all the urine color charts in comparison with the work of Avicenna. So there's a great need to develop a urine color chart that not just elaborate the modern scientific enlightenment of urine analysis, but also its medical armamentarium could be traced from the ancient Babylonian schools, the Egyptian pyramids, the Greek philosophical teachings, and Avicenna's medical wisdom. And for that purpose, we use Agile Scrum technique to design a chart that contained more than 3,000 words, 700 lines and 200 columns. We used Adobe Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator softwares for its designing in such a way that the inner circle represents the 30 colors denoted by Avicenna, with their description mentioned in Canon of Medicine. The outer circle represents 15 urine colors mentioned in the modern medical textbooks, with their elaboration in preceding 4 columns, in which the first column describes the food, herbs and chemicals causing this color. The next column describes the contemporary medical explanation of this color. Next column describes the Tibbi wisdom of this color. And the last column describes the recommendations and suggestions by the experts. Let's talk about the method. After developing the Avicenna must chart, we proposed an initiative to develop a habit in people that they must at least once in a week perform must in their homes. To do this, they have to follow 4 simple steps. First, urinate into a 500 ml flask. Then examine the flask in front of an illuminator to detect 7 parameters of urine such as its quantity, color, viscosity, clearance or turbidity, odor, foam and sediments. And then read the description of your findings in Avicenna must chart. And if you are a physician and you want to learn further about a particular parameter of urine, we recommend you to scan the given QR code on the chart to download a PDF file on your mobile in which the important details of a particular parameter of urine are explained that you should be aware of in case a patient came to you with a sign that he or she noticed in the urine. Pakistan is the third world country, and the fact is most of the population cannot afford the basic medical treatment bills. So it is our sole responsibility that we must focus on the prevention of diseases on mass level. And this can be done by teaching them to develop simple habits to take care of their health. For instance, more than 60% patients of kidney diseases came to the hospital with renal stones and severe colic pain. But if we teach people that the renal stones don't form overnight, as it is a long process in which first the supersaturation of minerals occurs in their blood. Then after few weeks the nidus formation starts in the kidneys, which turns the urine dark. Then after few more weeks the nidus starts uniting to form gravels, which turns urine turbid. After this the gravels unite to form sediments, which always appears in the urine without causing any discomfort. But as people don't have habit to observe their urine, so the important signs missed every time. And on one bad day the sediments unite to form stones that got stuck in the ureters and cause severe colic pain, which brings patient to the hospital. And then an expensive treatment starts here. So we all are paying the price of not listening to our body's whispers, which ultimately turns into screaming and pain. In conclusion, I would like to quote Lieutenant General Dr. Mahmood Ahmad Akhtar, who said, "Prevention is not better than cure, but it is the real cure in case of CKD." And that is the fact, because as we know, more than 34 renal diseases are enlisted in books of medicine, but not even a single chapter of drugs for renal diseases is written in Lippincott Pharmacology. Prevention is not only better than cure, it is the real cure in case of CKD. King Edward Medical University Lahore published a paper stating that complete urine examination is said to be the poor man's renal biopsy. It helps a lot in early detection of various kidney diseases. The bottom line is, it's time to teach people that if eyes are the window into the soul, the urine is the window into the body. Thank you for your precious time. Allah Hafiz.
One of the great challenges in this world is knowing enough about a subject to think you're right, but not enough about the subject to know you're wrong.